Yes. Welcome, 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 welcome. Welcome to Wellness Wednesday. I literally just put these on and I said, you know what? Let me just go live. Okay. Let me just go live. So, for those of you that are new to me and new to my channel, I'm your girl, Paula Marie, AKA, let me change my name. I got multiple personalities. Black Girls Do Pilates too. And in this segment, we are talking about skincare for Black women. I'm excited about that because we all know good black don't crack. However, we do have to maintain good skincare habits, and we also need to make sure that we are talking about our best selves, how to keep our best selves forward, right? So let's talk about travel skincare. Alrighty, put that out in the world. Boom. For those of you that are new to me, I'm a fitness professional, over 20 years as a fitness professional. Managing and creating programs. Pilates is my jam right now. It's my love. It's my I can't say it's my secret love. I'm very out loud and proud. I love Pilates and Pilates loves me. But inside of that world of Pilates, we also have to think about all the other elements like nutrition, stress, mental health, skincare. Let's talk about skincare. So today I just bought these probably about maybe 2 weeks ago. Um, just noticing that myself, I've had just some dark areas, and I know what that really is. Um, I don't drink enough water. I just, I don't drink enough water. I know I should, but I don't. So let me know in the comments if you drink enough water. Like let me know in the comments if you drink enough water because I need some support and I need some help with that. But also just trying to just make sure that I'm 54, so just trying to make sure that I am putting my best foot forward. There are things that I've never had to do before that I'm now learning that I have to start implementing into my day to day. And that's a little different because I'm a country girl, so I'm used to doing things supernatural, and for the most part, I stay that way. But I just have to do a little bit more to stay natural. So today, our topic is travel skincare must haves, and while we're talking about travel skincare must haves, we got to talk about not only the things that we need to be doing to our skin on a regular, but how do we prepare for our skincare? That's going to be the gist of this topic today. So let me know if when you go on vacation, if your skincare changes at all. Like what's in your travel bag? Like what do you bring? Do you bring the whole kitchen sink with you? Or do you have special things that you take with you when you travel? And there should be some things that you take with you when you travel that's not in your normal, regular day to day skincare routine. And the reason why is because we are stressed. Right? We're traveling. The air is different. The air on the plane is different. The air where we're traveling to is different. It might be super humid in certain places. The air may be super dry. You may be running on fumes going from excursion to excursion. Fresh water may be a premium. It may be something that you have to purchase. It's not something that you can just drink from the sink. So we've got to make allowances for where we're going to be, and we've got to adjust for where we're going to be. But we also have to prep to go into those climates and into those environments as well. And there's some things that I'm going to tell you that you absolutely must have in your travel bag. So get your pen and get your pad and let's get this thing popping. Okay. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about these key areas that you absolutely must have inside. Now, as I said before, to get your skin ready, You got to start this serious water game. Like your water game, like the bar is set high, and you've got to be super serious about it. Listen, okay. I try to get through a couple of those a day, but oh, it's so hard. One thing that I realized is that I will not drink water unless I have a straw. So I have to have some way of like having a straw, being able to not have to work so hard to get the water. Even tilting the glass or the container up, that's a lot of work for me. I know. Don't judge me. I'm just telling you what helps me drink more water. And I realized that straws help me drink more water. But seriously, we definitely need to hydrate. There's climate changes. So whether it's super dry, gotta make sure that we're drinking water to be able to hydrate not just the skin, but also the body. And so I'm going to talk about hydration, and we're going to go through a list of what you should be doing 2 weeks before, 1 month before, 2 months before, and 3 months before. A whole quarter, people, a whole quarter. So let's go backwards. 3 months before your trip, you should consider adding a humidifier to your bedroom. I said it, a humidifier. Now I have a humidifier. I keep my humidifier on because in the wintertime, if I'm sick, if there's any kind of respiratory issues, it really helps to like keep my respiratory open, right? Especially like through my nasal passages. The air can get super dry in the wintertime with the heat running. So I keep my humidifier on just so that there's moisture in the air and it really helps my nasal passages. So I keep a humidifier there. But you want to keep that on, and you want to keep it on to make sure 3 months before that you're to help your skin, right? It really helps to hydrate the skin while you sleep. This is important because when you're sleeping, your body is working overtime to regenerate and to reset. Your skin is no different. So, this is the perfect way to be able to keep your skin hydrated and to kind of prep it, right? This is going to help to eliminate sunburn. You won't burn as easy. And you'll be able to really fight that sunburn that happens. And we're going to talk about that later as we get into it. So, 3 months before, pull out that humidifier. Pull out that humidifier. Now, if you like me and you're always in a personal summer, I got my humidifier on. My humidifier actually keeps me warm, it creates heat in the room. So that's a good thing in the wintertime, but it's not so good in the summer months. So I've got my humidifier in one part of the room and I got my fan blowing on the other part. So you want that humidifier 3 months prior. Now, 2 months prior, when it comes to hydration and prepping the skin, right? 2 months before, we want to start an exfoliation game. We want to start to remove the dead skin cells and allow your moisturizers. It really does allow your moisturizers to penetrate deep. That's why I don't know if some of you know, but I had a skincare company. I make it here and there, but skincare company called Paula's Web. And inside of Paula's Web, it was oils and butters that you could use universally on your hair and your skin. And I always told my customers the best time to put that on is before you leave out of the bathroom. As soon as you get out of that shower, while your skin is still damp, you want to hydrate. You want to put those oils on. You want to put that body butter on, right? Because then your pores are going to have the option to absorb that moisture into the pores. If you wait until you completely dried off and your body has cooled down and your pores have closed, you're literally just slathering on moisture on top of the skin. But you really want the skin, the cuticle of the skin, to be able to absorb and pull that moisture inside of your skin. So you want to start exfoliating because you're going to start to remove that dead skin. Underneath that dead skin, there's that fresh layer of skin, and you want to do this 2 months before because that new fresh baby layer of skin is real sensitive. Okay. It's real sensitive. Think about a baby when it first comes out. Everything on that baby's body is just, oh, the skin just feels different, right? So we can't just exfoliate and then go on vacation. We got to prep the skin. And it's going to take a process to exfoliate. It's not a one and a done, people. Okay. So you want to make sure that you start your exfoliation game at least 2 months prior. Now, 30 days before your trip. And I'm probably like 45 days away from my next international trip in 2024. 1 month before, you want to invest in a good moisturizer with hyaluronic acid. Ooh, that's what I got under this right here to lock in the moisture and to keep your skin plump and dewy, right? So I actually have these iPads on, and my iPads, they do have hyaluronic acid inside of the serum, right? And then afterwards, I keep the package because the package still has the serum. It has a lot of serum that's in the package. And I'll take a Q-tip, and for the next like 4 to 5 days, I'll just rub that Q-tip underneath my eyes and all over my face. And what it does is it helps with dry skin, which I don't really have dry skin, but I do want to make sure that I am pouring moisture into my skin from the inside out, and prepping my skin. Dark circles, puffiness that may come from um, weight gain, um, not drinking enough water, hydration, changing climate. It was super, super cold. Now it's super, super. We had a super great warm day. Going inside of an air conditioned building, coming out into the heat. Those are all things that are going to change your body and also your skin. So 1 month before, you want a good moisturizer with hyaluronic acid, lock in skin plump, right? And then 2 weeks before, now 2 weeks is when it gets crazy. 2 weeks is when you really want to do all the things. You want to get your nails done. You want to get your hair did. You want to get all the things going on, right? You want to start hydrating your skin from within by drinking plenty of water and incorporating hydrating serums into your skincare routine, right? Which you want to start to have that become more than just a really good moisturizer that's on your face, but we're talking about the whole entire body. Your skincare is not from the neck up. Your skincare is from the top of your head, your scalp, right? Let's get into the scalp. I'm even putting that hyaluronic acid like right on the edges because this is where I burn if I'm going to burn. I've been very blessed that I don't burn a lot. But if I'm going to burn, that's going to be my spot where I burn. So we're talking about ways that we can really help to get our travel skincare game together. We're talking about must haves that you absolutely must have. And I'm going to pick 3 things that you absolutely must do in order to get your skincare game all the way together, right? As I'm getting my skincare game. So we just finished summarizing the hydration. Hydration is number one, and that's the key. As long as we've got hydration, we're good. We're good in the hood. Alrighty. So let's go into like windy conditions because wind can actually damage the skin more so than sun. I feel like we don't give wind enough credit when it comes to how we need to protect our skin from windy situations. And think about all of the activities that you do when you are traveling. I'm always on a boat. So if I'm traveling to another country, I'm on a boat. Like I'm on a catamaran, I'm on a yacht, I'm going out in these waters. Yeah, I'm doing that thing. I don't know what it is. It's just something about that water. So let's take it to those windy conditions, right? Whether you're planning a beach getaway or you're going like to the shores of like Cape Town, you really want to be prepared for the strong winds and the salt that's in the air. Remember, I told you I love a good beach or to be around some water. So let's go backwards. How do we protect our skin in in that weather, going into that weather, right? 3 months prior. You want to start taking an omega-3 supplement to support your skin's natural barrier function. You want to take that omega-3. It's going to improve your resilience against environmental stressors. And your environmental stressors are going to be the wind, the salt, the sun, the temperatures. So you want to start taking an omega-3 supplement about 3 months before. And that's going to be a really good support for your skin's um, function in order to create this natural barrier because you want your skin to kind of like toughen up a little bit, right? Get some water. Now, 2 months before, we need to start investing in a windproof jacket or a scarf. I always miss this memo. I can put a jacket on and my hair, my scalp is just out for the world, right? But you want to protect your wind from the elements when you're outdoors. And the best way to do that is to cover up. So this is when we start looking at some great it's summertime, but we still need a jacket sometimes. So definitely invest in something that is waterproof and lightweight to be able to help protect you on those days when you do need that protection. Now, 1 month prior to, you want to start incorporating a hydrating serum. We're always going back to these hydrating serums, right? With the ingredients like serum, I'm gonna mess this up. Um, ceramides, and fatty acids to replenish moisture and repair the damage. So this is important because you don't wait until the skin starts to feel uncomfortable to start to treat it. And that's the number one thing that happens when we're on vacation. We remember the bathing suits, we remember the shoes, we remember the hair, we remember to get our nails done. Um, we think about the food we're going to eat, but we never think about ways that we can prepare for the injury not to happen or the damage not to occur. So, 1 month before, we need to start implementing a hydrating serum. We need to start to get the skin and prep the skin to be ready to go into these windy conditions where your body may not be able to fight it naturally. And I'll tell you this, if you're going anywhere like near a beach, that climate can change. So you're going to have to prepare for the windy conditions, right? As well as the heat of the sun. The 2 weeks before, 2 weeks before we go into the windy coastal climate, we need to start to use a repair cream. 2 weeks before, we're using a repair cream to help strengthen your skin's natural protective barrier and shield it from the harsh winds. Now, because I just told you I used to have a skincare company, I made body butters and natural oils, right? I was looking, oh, here's one. Here's a little sample. Um, Shea butter alone is not going to get it. Everyone's skin cannot take shea butter alone. Shea butter is amazing, but you may need to couple that with some other ingredients that works for your body. For example, coconut oil alone doesn't work for most people's body. It's a very small select few. Coconut oil is light but heavy at the same time, and it's super difficult for your body to absorb that. It kind of sits on the skin. You've got to break coconut oil or coconut butter down with something that's a little bit softer to be able to allow your skin to be able to drink it. And as I said before, the best way for your skin to drink it is when it's damp, when the pores are open, when the skin temperature is warm, because then your body will be able to absorb it. One of the best compliments I ever got from someone is that when I put your butters on, it felt like it was going to be super heavy. And then I looked and it was gone. My skin just drank it. And that's what you want. You want to be able to put something on that doesn't just sit on top of your skin, but that your skin actually drinks it like it's the thirstiest day, the hottest day in the world, and they're the thirstiest ever, right? So 2 weeks before, we want to start prepping your skin. We want to start getting into those pores. Now, remember, we've been doing things to prep it 3 months before with the omega-3 supplements. And 2 months before, we need to start looking at ways to cover the body from the elements. A month before, hydrating serum. And then 2 weeks before, a repair cream. This is a cream that you put on not after the damage is done, but to prep it before the damage hits. So let's get into it. Alrighty. Let's do a wrap up really, really quickly. We got one more item to hit. We're talking about travel skin must haves for Black women because I know y'all about to hit these streets, baby. So I want to make sure that I am helping you to be prepared when you hit those streets. All right. So, the third and the final thing that we want to talk about is how to adapt to a dry climate. We've been in like super humid, windy, but how do you adapt to those dry climates? Like if you're going to the Arctic or you're going somewhere super cold like Iceland, super beautiful, but the air is super dry. How do we prepare the skin for that? And I do know some people that are traveling to Iceland this summer. So it's going to be a good time for them. Now, 3 months before, we want to start to, and listen, that humidifier is going to be your best friend. If you don't have a humidifier, I'm going to need you to order you one, okay? 3 months before, we got to start prepping the skin, right? To make sure that we're combating the dry air. And you can have dry air when you're inside. If you work in an office, if you work from home and you're inside, the AC is running or the heat is running, your air is probably pretty dry. So you want to be able to pour as much moisture into the air, not only for your skincare, but also for your respiratory system as well. Then 2 months prior to, we want to start adding a facial oil to your nighttime routine. It's just an extra layer that you're going to put on to kind of give some hydration, but also to protect against the elements. And again, when you're sleeping, your skin is resetting, rejuvenating itself, right? So we want to start talking in terms of how do we get the most bang for our buck? And it's not when we're out in the world moving, it's definitely when you are sleeping. So you want to invest in a facial oil, something that's light but rich at the same time that your skin will drink in. 1 month before, 30 days before your trip, you want to start to incorporate a rich, nourishing moisturizer into your routine. Why a month before? And I know you probably have something that you're using in your day to day, but this has to be something that's a step above. We gotta invest in something that's a step higher than what you're normally using. So if you're using like Jergens, for example, and this is no shade to Jergens, right? It's a good lotion. It's been around a long time. However, that's not the step up 30 days before. 30 days before, we got to do some different things, right? Because we're going to be in some different spaces. So you want to make sure that you are hydrating your skin. And this is from the crown of your head. Do not forget about your scalp. Hair grease and hair products uh, may not be the most. Your scalp is the same as your skin. We still want to work with it when the pores are open, when the body heat is high, so that it can absorb and drink in all the moisture that it needs to. 2 weeks before, we want to switch to a gentle hydrating cleanser. So listen to this. A month before, we're using something very rich and very dense to help moisturize you, right? Then 2 weeks before, we're switching gears. We're going to switch to something that's a little gentle, but still hydrating, super light, because we want to avoid stripping your skin of its natural oils that you've already started to kind of incubate inside of your 3-month program. So we went through some of the top ways that you can get your skincare together before you go on your big trip. We also went through your 3-month, your 2-month, your 30-day, and your 2-week process for each of these. I only went through 7. There are 4 more. So make sure that if you want to buckle down, you want to read a little bit more about how to really get your skincare game together, click the link that is in the description. That link is going to take you to my blog, and my blog every other week gives you tons of information on health, wellness, and fitness. All you have to do is just click the link that's below. You can also visit my website at www.blackgirlsdopilates2.com, and that's the number 2. BlackGirlsDoPilates2.com. Alrighty. So we went through the most important things that you can get, ways that you can get your skincare game together, right? So we got that on lock. Now I want to talk about the things that you need to have in your travel bag to make sure that you are doing the things and having all the things close and accessible to you while you travel. And these are not your normal everyday things. These are your special things that you have in your travel bag. So if you're just joining, again, this is Paula Marie, aka Black Girls Do Pilates Too, and we're talking about Black women travel skincare must-haves, because we know that it is time for you to get your whole entire travel game together. Alrighty, so let's talk about some of the things that you absolutely must have in order to, or must keep in your travel bag, right? Now, I got these on, so let's start with these, all right? These sheet masks are absolutely great. They're excellent for you to have to give your skin a boost when it needs more hydration, when it needs more nourishment, when it needs more of a moisturizer. It also helps against chafing, to protect you against chafing, wind, salt, all the elements, right? And they're super affordable and they're easy to pack. You can throw a couple of these in your bag and you never know when you're going to need them. They're also good to help give your skin a boost, especially after a day of touring, a day of traveling, maybe not eating the types of food that you're used to eating to. So your diet's a little bit off, not getting as much water. So maybe you're dehydrated. Every time I talk about it, I'm going to take a sip. All right. So you really want to just make sure that you throw a couple of these and test them out. Like I've got these that are, they have the hyaluronic acid, but then there's some with lemon base, there's some with clay base. You just want to make sure they're super easy. You just put them on, let them sit for about 10 to 15 minutes, and then pull them off. Put it on when you go to bed, whatever floats your boat, but they're super easy. So make sure you throw a couple of these masks inside of your travel bag. The second thing is going to be a hydrating mist. Now, this is really cute because you can have them in a small travel container, little spray bottle that you can keep in your purse, in your travel bag. You can keep a couple of these in different places so that you always have them accessible to them. Why is that important? because again, we want to make sure that we're protecting the skin, and the best way to protect the skin is the same way that you can protect your body: hydration. Now, there's some little bit of ingredients that you want to make sure you have inside of your hydrating mist, and rose water or glycerin is one. Now, I'm going to tell you a little bit about glycerin. Glycerin works amazingly well in hot, humid weather. It can work in the opposite in dry weather. So be very cognizant that if you're in a cold climate, you want to use rose water. But if you're in a warmer climate, you can use rose water or glycerin. And I actually have um, some rose water here. This was like a little travel size that I got. And I don't know, it stays right here. I don't know why it stays right there. It's going in my bag now. All right. So we're going through three. We've already went through one, the sheet mask, two, the hydrating mist, and the third. They've got seven, but we're only going to go through three. Sunscreen. Now, let me tell you something, Black people. We know Black don't crack, but we also know that you have got to, and I mean absolutely got to, make sure that you're protecting your skin in the best possible way. And you do need a high SPF sunscreen. I'm going to say that again. You need a high SPF sunscreen. The sunscreen is to keep your skin safe. It's to protect you from the harmful rays, especially if you're traveling to climates where the sun gets intensely hot. Now, I'm going to Aruba in a couple of weeks. The sun there is stupid. It's a it's a it's a different type of sun. It's the type of sun that even me thinking about it, I'm like, but I always got my skincare game on ready because look, I make Paula's whip. So my skincare game is already like this is what I do. But you definitely have to prep the skin to be able to do that. That's going to protect the skin, but we want to make sure that we put a layer of sunscreen with a high SPF to be able to keep the skin from burning, to prevent skin damage, and to prevent aging. All right. So if you want your good Black to stay not cracking, I'm gonna need you to invest in a high SPF sunscreen, right? And bring it in multiple forms, right? Don't just buy like one bottle and say, okay, that's it, right? I want you to have the kind that you can like just spray on, that's waterproof, because you're sweating if you're in a humid climate, right? You may be in and out of the water. So you want to make sure that it stays on you, that once you put that barrier on, it stays on you. The other is a great spray. That spray is easy as well. So you want to have a couple. And then, excuse me for a sec. And then you also want to make sure that you have travel size so that you have it with you at all times. Okay. Excuse me. So make sure that you carry that sunscreen around. Excuse me, y'all, because it's super important, especially for us. The myth that we don't need it, it's just that. It's just a myth. So, we just went over some key important things that Black women need to have in their travel skincare. And we also went through some ways that you're going to be able to keep your skincare healthy at the same time. So, listen, I hope that this was helpful for you. I got to take my pads off. Feel like it. I don't know. Yeah, it's time for me to take these off. So, Make sure to get your skincare game up. Make sure that you pay attention to all the things. And if you want to read more, we only went through 3, but there are 7 different tips for you to be able to get your skincare game up, depending on the location of where you're traveling to. Also, there's a whole list of things that you need to have in your travel kit when you travel, just to make sure that your skin is always going to be flawless. And this is for men too. So, if you want to read up more about that, definitely go to BlackGirlsDoPilates2.com to click the link for our blog, or go to the description underneath this video and it'll give you a direct access to be able to read all of our blogs. We've done some phenomenal blogs. So, yeah, I can't wait. Listen, it's your girl, Paula Marie, aka Black Girls Do Pilates Too. Thank you once again for coming on with me while we talk about health and wellness and fitness and all those things that affect Black women so that we can continue to be our flawless selves. Alrighty, peace.